All right, so it's been a while since last time I posted. Now it's 2026, and I think the last time I posted anything here on my channel has been the Rank and Rent update 3, which is like more than a year ago. So yeah, I haven't posted more than a year, and actually a lot of things have happened. So in this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm basically just gonna run you through what I've been doing since then, and then my basically my strategy for 2026, because I think a lot of people in this space, building their own businesses and even just working a regular job, well, they are making their plans and strategies for the new year. Maybe they already did. I have been thinking a lot on my travels the past 14, 30 days, and a lot of the stuff is now kind of solidified, which makes me able to make a video like this, just trying to walk you through and myself through what I'm gonna do for this new year and my basically my goals. So since basically, if we go a lot of time back, I started YouTube around the time where I quit my job actually. So I quit my job initially in 2023, which was, I think it was around March 2023, where I made the decision that now I'm gonna try to go full time on my own business. And at that time, I did not make YouTube videos yet, but at the time, my idea was to try to build either a SaaS, do an agency or something like that. So I went through many things during that period of time. It is something I can do a separate video about. It's not for this video. And I did that for 16 months, and I did manage to make money, but barely enough to survive. I would say that I would probably, actually I was quite close to making enough money every month to sustain myself and pay all the bills. But at the time, I think it was in the middle of 2024 where I eventually made the decision to go back getting a full-time job, simply because at the time I didn't really have much to do. I was kind of just working on different projects, not really, doing anything with that. And I also did some freelancing, but I didn't get enough work in. So I probably only spent like 20 to 30 hours actually working. The remaining hours was kind of just, I would say, kind of bullshit, not really worth the time. And then I thought at the time, well, listen, it's just better to get a job then, right, and make some money. And I saw an opportunity to get actually, it was not a full-time job, but a part-time job. I didn't get the job, but then the same people that reached out to me again, probably a month later, with a different job, and that was a full-time gig. And a month later, I got it. So basically, I've had a full-time job for now a year and a half, at least. And so yeah, half of 2024, all of 2025, and now still have it. But with that whole journey of building my own business, I kept doing that. I kept freelancing. I kept working on other businesses that I have, which I will also get into more into an upcoming video. But yeah, so I did that freelancing. I kept freelancing on Upwork, and also kept working on my other business, which is an e-commerce store where I sell personal art. Basically something I haven't been into, but I live in Asia, and I have contacts that does paintings, and then I have a website in Europe where I get clients. So if you want to do like a personal painting, they go through me, and I commission it to an artist here in Asia. So that's a separate business, which I will also be talking about in a later video, because I think it's going to be interesting. So for those 16 months that I was working on my own business, I that was actually a very interesting period of my life. And I think that whole period solidified the idea that I want to do that. I want to become like my own boss, and I want to live off of myself and my own abilities. Because if you have a job, right, like I have now, the only reason I have that is because the people that hire me are better than me at commercializing my skills, right? So they are able to make more money on my time than I am myself. And I think I don't know if that makes sense, but that for me is just something that I cannot accept. I want to be able to take my own time and optimize it to such an extent that no job at all would be able to justify, no salary would be able to justify it better than I can in terms of like, making money on my own time. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's at least what I've been thinking. And also just, waking up every morning and working on my own business, doing those 16 hours, like every day was almost the same, but every day it was the best, even though it was in a lot of ways, the routine that I have working on my own business is almost the same as working for a company or being employed. But it was just so more satisfying, simply because you're working on your own dream and not somebody else's dream. You're not just some commodity, which you basically are if you are employed. And that's also how I view myself now with this job, even though I know it sounds bad, but that's just how it is. All right, just have to accept that. So yeah, since I got that job, I kept doing it, and 2025 have been really good. So I think actually I haven't done all the finances yet, but I think actually I made more money on my own business than I did on my full-time job. So I'm actually in a point now where I would actually be able to quit my job again and then just work on my own business. It's not something I'm going to do right away, but of course that is going to be the end goal. Again, something I think I will talk more about in a different video, how I'm thinking about that. But yeah, I think in those 16 months, from early 2023 to mid 2024, I have just been more sure and more sure in the direction I wanna do, and that is to be self-employed basically, and was working on my own business. It's just so much more fun. It basically, gives you the ability to work with whatever you want, when you want, and where you want. You don't have to justify your actions to anybody else than yourself, and I think that's great. Like even with this job I have now, there was some issues, where we made certain arrangements, agreements before I got the job, and then when time came, they kind of went back on that. Like there was some, for example, I asked them basically, I want to be able to go take work and travel with it basically, and they accepted that, and then they took it back. And so stuff like that is just kind of annoying, and it's hard to do anything about it unless you are not dependent on that job. Now, like if they fire me tomorrow, I basically don't give a shit, because I make enough money on my own business. So it's like I can make decisions, and I can also use it as leverage when I talk with them with salary negotiations or benefits and stuff like that. So for example, initially when I got the job, I had to clock in from I had to clock in from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day. And after 3 months, I got work from home. So I still had to clock in at the same time every day, but 2 days a week I can work from home. All right. And then the next thing I basically made an arrangement about was to have flex time. So instead of have to check in or clock in from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., I got flex time, so I could basically just control my time, manage my time however I wanted. Like if I wanted to clock in at 6 a.m., I could do that and stuff like that. If I want to work in the evenings on a Saturday and then, take more time off on a Friday, I could do that. So that's cool. And then after that, I got basically now fully remote. So I can work from wherever I want, when I want. So I think that is as close as you can get to your own business than possible. And that's just something I could only have after being at the job for a while. So that makes it more convenient and easier to keep it compared to like for example, if I didn't have those benefits, and if I had to clock in at the office at this time and clock out at that time, I think I would probably quit the job today. But since I have these benefits, all right, I'll keep it. And then since I have basically now 2 full-time incomes, it's a lot of money I can put on to the side, keep it, invest it, and then use that in the future. Like if I wanna. Yeah, so I mean, for those 16 months, I did make money, but not enough. And that was basically why I decided to go back to getting a job. I didn't make enough money, and I did not have enough things to do to spend all my time. So I kind of just chilled a little bit. I didn't really grind, and that's what I wanted to do. And it's also, of course, doing something like that, quitting your job and being self-employed for 16 months has also been a big opportunity cost, because if I had a job, I could save more money, I could invest it, and so I lost a lot of money during that time, because I also took from my savings and investments. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty happy about the decision, because it made me more sure in the direction I want to go in, but also it has made my company stronger. Now I can actually make a lot more money while also having a full-time job. So I'm very happy about the decision. And going forward in 2026 and the next years, I think it's going to be really exciting. So now I'll start doing YouTube videos again. I'll do some build in public. I'm not sure. I'll be focusing on actually, I'm not sure yet exactly what I'm going to do, but I will be building a public, and I'm going to share progress in my own business, is how it's going, like basically like weekly updates. And if I work on some interesting things related to making more money online, that's something I'll be sharing. So for example, I have an e-commerce store where I sell art, and I will be I will put more focus into that business in this year, and then also sharing the progress basically on that. And I think I'll also be sharing some numbers, like how much I make. So like I'm not one of the guys that makes hundreds of thousands of dollars every month, not at all. Like if I can make 10K for 1 month, it has been a really good month for me. And I think a lot of people, they are like, when I quit my job initially, like I didn't make, I probably made like $1,000 a month. Some months I'll make 2,000 or 3,000. So I've jumped a lot since then, and I hope that will continue, and that's something I will keep sharing also on this channel here. And yeah, then I also spend a lot of time freelancing, and I think for the freelancing, doing that, I think that's something I can use to pivot to an agency. So you start with freelancing, get a lot of clients, get a lot of contacts, and then when things make sense, I will use that to make an agency. But agency is kind of far away. It makes sense to just do freelancing as much as possible. And that's also something I've been very successful with this year. That's something I will also be sharing some insights about. For example, I have been doing content, not on YouTube, but I've been doing it on LinkedIn actually quite a lot, relatively. Like especially in the beginning of 2025, I did basically only content on LinkedIn and not on YouTube. And then I kind of did some other things, and that actually paid off because I did get clients through that. So I feel like there's a big opportunity, especially as a freelancer, to connect with people on LinkedIn, sharing content, like high quality content, and then have that as sort of some kind of a lead magnet where you can get some inbound leads. So that is something I'll be focusing on a lot in 2026 as well. So yeah, that's basic and updates. In terms of like the rank and rents that I've been doing and other stuff, it's something I haven't been doing since, and I still have the website, and I think I'll do a separate update on the rank and rents, because that's some of the videos that got a lot of views on. I mean, relatively compared to some other view. So I think there's an interest in people of knowing like how that goes. I think generally just people want to make money online. So I think going forward also, and that's also kind of been the purpose of the channel, is just showing how I do it, and not that I'm not saying that I am successful with it, because I'm not yet, but hopefully we can kind of share the journey and maybe inspire other people to start, because it is a grind, and it just takes a long time to get any kind of success in life, right? So it's not something that comes right away, and I think a lot of the content that we see on YouTube and with all the gurus, they show you like, do this, follow this blueprint that you probably have to pay for, and then you'll get success within 3 months and make 10K. I know it's possible, but for most people it's not. Like I've been grinding on this for a long time, and I'm not that I'm a special person or anything like that, but it took me a while to even reach like a couple of $1,000s. I know people that have done it very, very fast, following some kind of a blueprint. But if it was so easy, and then everybody would be doing it, right? So I think it's for most people, if they want to do this and have success with this, like making money online, it's about having a path and a strategy, and then following it and stick with it. And I think the same goes with like doing content like this. I started doing it, And then I kind of went off of it, and then I didn't do it at all for a long time. It's like, also like, if I want to have success with YouTube, I just have to stick with it, right? And the same goes for like an online business or doing content on LinkedIn or whatever we do, we just have to stick with it. But I think that's important, and I think that will just return so much more happiness compared to having a normal 9-to-5 job. I think that even for most people, that would be the solution. But it is difficult, and I think if it was not, like I said, everybody would be doing it. So that's all for this video, and subscribe, because I will be posting, I think 1 time per week now is what I will be trying to do. I will also be posting on LinkedIn. I will haven't shared that, but I might do that later. And I think I will also be doing some Instagram and Facebook, but I might be talking about that later. But for now, subscribe to this channel. I will keep you updated on what I work on later. All right, have a good one. See ya.